The education policy No Child Left Behind is closing in on being left behind by Congress. CBS's Stephen Portnoy on Capitol Hill.
Bills in the House and Senate aim to replace the once heralded 2002 reforms, which have since earned nationwide ire. Parents and teachers say No Child Left Behind has meant too much time spent teaching to tests. The bills now under consideration would give states more control over accountability. The Senate measure would ban any national standards a la Common Core. The House would move federal funds around as poorer children leave public schools. That's prompted strong objections from teachers' unions, and the White House pledges a veto. Stephen Portnoy, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Boston's Museum of Science now says mistakes found by a West Virginia teenager in a display's complex math problem aren't mistakes at all. It says the presentation with 3 minus signs instead of plus signs is a less common version, but still accurate. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
Attention business owners. We know that owning a business means getting things done right now. So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company. General Steel. We can design a building for your business quickly and save you thousands of dollars. That's right, thousands. You may think General Steel only builds large projects or that you can't afford General Steel quality. Well, check these prices. How about a 40 by 60 foot building for under $22,000? Or even a 50 by 100 for under $35,000? That's right, a 5,000 square foot building for under $35,000. And these buildings all have General Steel quality. Best of all, you can still order a building and have it delivered in time to build this year. How's that for right now? So don't delay. Call General Steel today at 866-96-STEEL. That's 866-96-STEEL. Need more planning? No problem. General Steel can help you with that right now. Call General Steel and be in your new building this year. 866-96-STEEL. That's 866-967-80.
Active Computers and Electronics in Chesapeake handles it all and then some. They can fix your laptop, take care of motherboards, fix DC jacks, broken LCD screens, replace damaged plastic, and hinge replacement. They also handle viruses, slow computers, hard drive data recovery, battery replacement, can back up data, and upgrade memory. Call 485-8878 and visit Active Computers and Electronics at 2973 South Military Highway in Chesapeake today.
Excuse me, Lips. This is the brain. A little less smacking would be nice.
It's this Rita's Italian ice. I can't stop smiling. You must really like me.
Settle down. Their signature Italian ice is an outrageously delicious explosion of tastiness made fresh every day with real fruit. There's nothing else like it in the world.
Ooh, it is so good. I could kiss you right now.
Fortunately, that's physically impossible.
Visit 12286 Warwick Boulevard in Newport News and 2328 West Mercury Boulevard in Hampton for
Mi
Rita's.
Hogar is your restaurant for the finest Mexican cuisine in Hampton Roads. At Mi Hogar, everything is prepared fresh in a casual atmosphere. Enjoy traditional favorites such as quesadillas, tacos, burritos, and fajitas, as well as refreshing beverages. Mi Hogar has 2 locations, 4201 Granby Street in Norfolk and 801 North Battlefield Boulevard in Chesapeake. Call ahead at 640-7705. At Mi Hogar, there is something for everyone.
Hi, this is Greg Bicouvaris, inviting you to join me for Sports Scene live each Wednesday from noon to 1 right here on News Talk 1650 and TuneIn.com by typing WHKT in the search box. Excellent guests and interaction at Greg Bick on Twitter, all powered by HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. Sports Scene each Wednesday from noon to 1 right here on News Talk 1650.
From Chesapeake, Virginia, 1650 AM WHKT presents Sports Scene. Sports Scene features local, regional, and nationally acclaimed guests and excellent interviews. Follow Sports Scene on Twitter at Greg Bick and at GJBTV.com. Now here is Greg Bicouvaris.
And good afternoon, Kenny. I got to tell you at the top right here, you know you've been working together for a long time at other stations and this station too. When I don't have to tell you to turn my audio up and you automatically do it like second nature. So thank you very much, my friend.
Sure.
Let's give yourself a round of applause for that. Beautiful.
My hand in a circle.
Very
a round of applause.
Exactly. Beautiful, beautiful Wednesday, July 8th. Kenny, did you have a good 4th, by the way?
No.
It's funny. I had more lightning at my house over the weekend and during the week than actually on July 4th. That big lightning storm we had a few days ago.
Yeah, I had medical problems never occur on a Tuesday afternoon at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's always 8:25 on a Friday night for the 4th of July holiday weekend, and that was me.
Oh, my goodness.
Friday night, tooth started flaring up, lit up the whole side of my face. I had to go through the whole weekend because it's the 4th of July.
Yeah, and of course, drama always happens on Monday morning, Friday afternoon, and something to your car on the weekend. It's almost like second nature. Anyway, folks, this is Sports Scene. We always have fun conversation right here, and of course, want to thank the Fan Forum for being in here last week as well, and all the great calls and Twitter as well. Sports Scene is an interview show right here every Wednesday live on the radio from noon to 1. Also, don't forget my TV program, Sports Highlights, on nnpstv.com. You can listen to this show online, tunein.com. Type in WHKT to listen on your phone or your computer. Mobile. That's the way we are going. Also, live on the radio, honk that horn, 1650 AM, 10,000 watt voice of Hampton Roads. Tell your friends about 1650. Twitter, go to my website, gjbtv.com. You'll see all my Twitter handles, Greg Bick, Sports Highlight, GJBTV, HR Online Mall.com. Thank you to our military and our great guest lineup. Of course, media buying at its best right there on gjbtv.com, Hampton Roads Online Mall.com, radio, TV, Twitter, billboards, social media, online, even a little print. We do it all. Guest lineup presented by Hampton Roads Online Mall.com. Browse, shop, and visit today. And the phone line presented by Mihogar Restaurants in Chesapeake and Norfolk. Delicious Mexican food. I want to thank our great sponsors this month, Active Computers, Rita's, Soprano, India Palace, Mihogar as well, and our great people over at MiCasitaMexican.com, Zaxby's, indescribably good for over 25 years, Blue Sushi Cafe, and of course Smoked Barbecue in Newport News, as well as Papa John's. Of course, highlights coming up. What teased me off? Great guest led by Skeeter Heath, former PGA Tour golfer. We get the elite guests right here on Sports Scene, the premier local radio show with a national audience right here in Hampton Roads. Stay tuned.
Soprano Italian Restaurant welcomes you to their establishment. Enjoy unforgettable appetizers, subs, pizza, Italian dinners, and ask about their pizza special for only $10.99. Call 930-2350 and visit Soprano number 2 on Facebook and online at sopranoitalianrestaurant.com. CNU, senior, and military discounts are available, and they do catering and delivery. Soprano is located near Hydenwood at 12588 Warwick Boulevard in Newport News and is open daily for you.
The place for authentic Indian food is the India Palace. They feature authentic Indian cuisine, have a party hall, and do catering and banquets. Open daily for lunch and dinner, they showcase an excellent lunch buffet at their Chesapeake and Virginia Beach locations. Visit their 2 locations at 1437 Sam's Drive in Chesapeake off of Battlefield Boulevard and 5600 Virginia Beach Boulevard in Virginia Beach, and online at IndiaPalaceVB.com. On Facebook, look for India Palace Virginia Beach and India Palace Bar and Grill. Dine at the India Palace today.
Hello, Toes. This is the brain. Is all this wiggling absolutely necessary?
We've never been this happy. Whatever it is you're drinking up there is cooling us off all the way down here.
Now that you mention it, we happen to be enjoying a new Rita's frozen drink. Your favorite flavor of their signature Italian ice turned into an intensely flavorful frozen beverage. The perfect refreshment on a hot summer day.
More, please.
Don't be a piggy.
Haven't heard that one before.
Visit 12286 Warwick Boulevard in Newport News and 2328 West Mercury Boulevard in Hampton for Rita's.
Active Computers and Electronics in Chesapeake handles it all and then some. They can fix your laptop, take care of motherboards, fix DC jacks, broken LCD screens, replace damaged plastic, and hinge replacement. They also handle viruses, slow computers, hard drive data recovery, battery replacement, can back up data, and upgrade memory. Call 485-8878 and visit Active Computers and Electronics at 2973 South Military Highway in Chesapeake today.
Mihogar is your restaurant for the finest Mexican cuisine in Hampton Roads. At Mihogar, everything is prepared fresh in a casual atmosphere. Enjoy traditional favorites such as quesadillas, tacos, burritos, and fajitas, as well as refreshing beverages. Mihogar has 2 locations, 4201 Granby Street in Norfolk and 801 North Battlefield Boulevard in Chesapeake. Call ahead at 640-7705. At Hogar, there is something for everyone.
Now back to Greg Bicouvaris and Sports Scene in the Hampton Roads Online Mall.com studio.
First, let me take a selfie.
And Ken, that's kind of way the society is going now. A lot of these kids taking selfies, but they don't realize that accidents happen when you take selfies.
You got to be careful about doing anything. And you see some things going on with these selfies, and you think, what on earth? Selfie sticks being banned everywhere because people's egos are just through the roof. It's amazing.
We'll talk about that and what teased me off. Of course, this is Sports Scene every Wednesday live on the radio from 12 to 1 on 1650 AM.
I wonder if you could take a selfie stick and put a head on there and make a club out of it.
Well, there you go. Our golfer. Yeah, we'll talk about that with Skeeter Heath coming up here. Also, TuneIn.com. Type in WHKT to listen on your phone or your computer. Sports Scene right here. Of course, we've talked to this gentleman on TV. We've talked to him. We've done infomercials with him before in the past. We've done radio interviews on this station and when I worked at the game as well in Virginia Beach. Let's welcome former PGA Tour player Skeeter Heath. Skeeter, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing great, Greg. How about yourself?
Good. I got to tell you, Skeeter, I'm in broadcasting, so I know a lot of people, but everywhere I go, somebody knows Skeeter Heath. Have you ever thought about running for office, my friend?
No politics for me. There's a lot of things in the closet.
Well, let's talk. I think we all have something. Let's talk about your background a little bit. Of course, you learned a lot from golf from your late father, who had a chance to meet, when you had your driving range as well. What a gentleman he was. He was very involved with the apprentice school. How did you get involved in golf? And talk about a little bit about your background.
Well, I had a cousin who was a very good player who went to the University of Houston. And Red Spiegel taught him, and I went down to the golf course at Old Hampton Country Club, which is now the Woodlands, when I was 7. And Red said, if you're going to come here, you're going to work. So I got a job. He put me to work shagging balls. Back in the day, they didn't have driving ranges. You hit your balls, you picked them up, or caddy. So I had the great job of shagging balls for him for his lessons, which was, I figured I better get another career because I was making 25 cents an hour. But that's where I got started. And then after about a year, he let me start hitting a few, and he taught me, and it kind of went on from there to junior golf, to high school, to college, to the tour, and now afterwards. So I was very lucky to have a man like Mr. Spiegel and my father, who was a great part of my life and a good man, and helped with the started the apprentice school program. In fact, we still have the apprentice school, and the shipyard is nice enough to have a big college tournament in honor of my father, the Glen Heath Memorial, and we have it at our place here at the Williamsburg Golf Club, which is very special to me to be able to host my dad's tournament at our club. So,
and I don't think you're related, but my longtime neighbor was Emmett Heath, who was very involved with the shipyard. Did you ever know Emmett?
I knew Emmett real well, and he and my dad were both in the apprentice school together. So
any relation?
No relation. He was a great man, though. He was a good guy, Emmett was.
Yep, he always used to go to the country club all the time. Right here talking to Skeeter Heath. Greg Bicouvaris, glad you're with us on Sports Scene live and local right here on 1650 at 1217. Before we talk about some of the tournaments coming up, you've played in several U.S. Opens. What were your thoughts when you saw the event a few weeks ago, as far as just from the golfer standpoint and also from the viewer standpoint, as far as some of the things they saw out west there in the state of Washington they've never seen before?
Well, to start with, on the spectator side, I've never been to Chambers Bay, but they were talking at like 4 or 5 holes the spectators couldn't see, which I think is, that's bad. You want to be able to kind of go and watch the whole tournament. From the golf course standpoint, I thought it was different. When the Opens I played in, everything was put on accuracy. The fairways were 18 to 22 yards wide. The rough was deep. The greens were hard. The greens were fast. Where here, the fairways were wide open, and it took all the accuracy. It was all distance. And, I don't know. It was just different. I think it was more like a British Open, more of like a links British course. It's kind of what in the U.S. we have our identity with tight fairways, accuracy, hard greens, and we kind of went to their identity. And I think that next year we will be back to what U.S. Opens in this country should be like at Oakmont, and I was lucky enough to play in an Open at Oakmont, and I think it'll be a great venue.
In fact, you played in 3 U.S. Opens, correct, Skeeter?
That's correct, yes.
Yeah, and I had a chance to go to the one Hale Irwin won back in '90 at Medina, and I'm telling you, of all the sporting events I've ever been to, radio, TV, that was my favorite all-time sporting event. If you haven't gone to a U.S. Open, folks, you need to go to a U.S. Open. It's unbelievable. And, of course, you played back in an era, too, when Arnold was still playing, and Jack, and, of course, some of the young guys as well.
Yeah, I was, I hate to admit it, but it was a long time ago. I mean, it was let's see. I played, my last Open was 85, so 30 years ago. So that tells you how, but I was lucky enough to play with Arnold and Jack and Watson and Trevino and Ray Floyd. It was just a great group, just fabulous guys. Those guys, the guys that are playing now, they can thank those guys for the money they're playing for.
Right.
Because they set a hell of a foundation for the tour.
And not to mention, too, I also tweeted on Twitter, I don't know if you're big in social media or not, that how big in this area Calvin Peete was in Kingsmill back in 82 and 83 to win. He was really years and decades ahead of golf, and you knew him personally, and what a trendsetter he was.
Yes, Calvin was a great guy. He was fabulous. He was a self-made guy. He did his own deal. He had a broken arm. It was set improperly. He came from a tough background, but what a gentleman and what an inspiration he was for so many people. And, people don't realize it, but Calvin Peete won more tournaments than anybody else in the 80s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He was a heck of a player. And, he led Fairways Hit for like 10 or 11 years in greens and regulation. He was a fantastic ball striker and a good man, and he was great for the game of golf.
Talking to Skeeter Heath, former PGA Tour golfer Greg Bicouvaris, along with Ken Johnson, up until 1 o'clock. You're home for CBS News. For more of my background, go to gjbtv.com, all powered by HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. Skeeter, let's talk about this Spieth kid. What a clean-cut, nice gentleman. He's won a couple majors already. Then you got Jimmy Walker, you got Bubba Watson, Dustin Johnson, Rory McIlroy. This should be an exciting, they call it the British Open, whatever you want to call it, but this should be very exciting. I believe it's going on in Scotland.
Yeah, they're playing at St. Andrews. I'm going to tell you, talking about Jordan Spieth, what a delight it is to see a young man like him in the game of golf or in sports in general. I was watching some things, and they're kind of giving him some heat now. These experts are giving him some heat of why he's not at St. Andrews and why he's at the John Deere. Well, here's a kid 21 years old, and he's making decisions so much better than these experts that are 50 and 60 and 40, because he realizes what the John Deere did for him. They gave him a sponsor's exemption before he had his card. That's the only way he could get in the tournament, and he won, and that meant he didn't have to go to the tour school. He was fully exempt player. He got on the Ryder Cup. All of his points started. So for him to say, okay, I've won 2 majors, I'm going, but no, I'm going to go back to where these people and show my appreciation for what these people did to jumpstart my career. I think it's so wonderful what that young man's doing, and for him to be like that. I mean, you don't see that, and then the experts are saying he's wrong for doing something, that he's showing his appreciation. That's a tour event, too, and they need all the help they can get, and I think it's fabulous.
I tell you, I love the tour, and I think it's great that he's playing in the Midwest. It's going to be good weather, and, the Open, you got the PGA Championship coming up as well a little bit later, so we'll see. You have to give yourself a little credit, Skeeter. Although you played up until the mid-'80s, you still played in some of the Mid-Atlantic tournaments in the '90s, too, and you had a lot of fun playing in those.
Yeah, I did. I enjoyed that. I don't play play any competitive golf now, and I haven't for a long time, since the '90s. And but I enjoyed that back in the day. I enjoy playing now. Being in the golf course business with our club in Williamsburg, I really enjoy that and the golf course construction that we did, and playing with my pals. It's nice, and playing with my son. That's pretty much for me. But the game is still a fabulous game, and to see not only Jordan Spieth, but to see this kid Patrick Rogers and this Jimmy Thomas. All these kids are 21, 22 years old, and you see them going, Roy McIlroy. It's a shame Roy has hurt his ankle, tore a ligament in his ankle playing soccer. He's 25. You can't live in the closet. You got to get outside and play. And people are like, why is he playing soccer? Well, he's 25 years old. He's out with his buddies. You got to have a life. There's more to life than just golf and work.
You got it right. Exactly. Yeah. There's got to be a balance there. And of course, the one thing you do share, though, you're an alumni of one of the greatest sports ever with golf that's got 4 majors, and American golf is so much further ahead. I grew up playing tennis. You know that, Skeeter. So much further ahead of American men's tennis. It's not even funny. Now, women's tennis has done pretty well, but American men's, that's Skeeter's phone, folks. That's not mine.
I'm sorry.
That's all right, my friend. We're live on the radio right here on 1650 and TuneIn.com. Type in WHKT. And Americans men's golf is so much further ahead of American men's tennis. Why do you think that is, Skeeter?
I don't know. I can't answer that. I don't know because, I've always been on the golf side.
Sure.
I think one of the reasons is television.
Mm-hmm.
Because, every week that you turn on a major network, Wimbledon's going on now, which people watch Wimbledon. People love watching Wimbledon. People love watching the U.S. Open. But other than that, are the French, the majors. But you go to golf now, and for a long time, every weekend golf's on.
Mm-hmm.
So I think television is what has promoted golf. Because, every Saturday, Sunday now, you got the Golf Channel, and, and then you got the endorsements, and you had the Palmers, and I think Arnold Palmer is the one that pole vaulted golf above tennis and really made it because he was so charismatic, his charisma. You saw him, back in the day, he was even, doing advertisements for cigarettes, cars, whatever people were doing, and I think that was the deal. And then Jack came along, and what a delight he was, and what a career he's had. 18 majors.
Exactly, and he keeps on going. Let me say this too, Skeeter. That's a great point. As we're talking to former PGA Tour player live on the radio here, Skeeter Heath, Greg Bicouvaris. Glad you're with us on Sports Scene, 1650 AM, TuneIn.com. Type in WHKT, powered by HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. That the guys back in the 80s and the 90s, even the 70s, they weren't lifting weights. They weren't watching their weight. They were eating all types of food, still getting it done. Now it's regimented. People are more conditioned. You got to be physically and emotionally, because Skeeter, better than anybody, traveling can really take a toll on you.
There's no question. It's weird. When I went on the tour, you went to the tour school just to be able to Monday qualify, and they only had 60 exempt players. And the rest of the guys that came out, they had you had to Monday qualify. Unless you made the cut, then you were in the next week. Well, the tour wasn't playing for much. We weren't playing for any money back then, so to speak. A total purse might be $200,000 or $250,000 or $100,000. $250,000 was a big total purse back then. So, all these guys that were rabbits, it would be 3 or 4 of us in one car and traveling and driving and doing this and doing that, and now, these guys travel. They travel with a trainer, they travel with an agent. They travel with a nutritionist. They a sports psychologist, a coach. They've got a hell of a team.
Mm-hmm. And most tournaments have title sponsors. And when we had Wayne Noe on a few months ago talking about the Kingsmill event, the women's event, I was shocked still to hear they did not even have a title sponsor. And Kingsmill has had their issues. To me, it's not the same there, Skeeter, when Orion Burkhart and Johnny Benner ran it. I will say that publicly. When Orion Burkhart ran Kingsmill's golf tournament, it was an elite event.
Yeah, I haven't been over to the tournament. I don't, that since then, I can just say as a player, living at Kingsmill then, and as a player, it was kind of my job and Curtis's job to get guys to come to play in the tournament.
Right.
And let me tell you something, it was not hard for us to ask guys, hey, will you come play this week, put it on your schedule, because Orion did. Mr. Burkhart was a fabulous man. He did so much for this area and for the tournament, and he made it sure it was right. So I was, the thing that you could tell the people, and I hear it from the people over there that the girls love the tournament because they treat them in the hospitality, but the hospitality that they did for us, and for when we were playing, and they just bent over backwards, and all the guys were like, and they'd bring their families. That was the big thing. You go to a tour event and you've got your kids with you, and they're like 7 to 10 or 12 or whatever how old they are. And you've got a couple kids, 2 or 3 kids. Well, you got your wife with you and the 2 or 3 kids. Well, they need something to do during the day.
Skeeter, I want you to hold just for a second for CBS News for 1 minute. We'll get back to you in just a few more minutes, but just up until Kenny gives us the green light right here. But always enjoy talking to Skeeter Heath right here. This is Sports Scene on News Talk 1650. And, of course, every Wednesday from 12 to 1, encore show next week. If you've missed a show, go to gjbtv.com, hit the YouTube link for archive shows, at Greg Bick on Twitter. Kenny, take it away. We'll come back with Skeeter Heath in a few moments.
All righty. Got about a minute here for CBS News comes up. What's going on in traffic? We've got that crash on the peninsula. Last check, 64 eastbound just before Hampton Creek had at least a couple of lanes blocked off, and that was backing traffic up to LaSalle Avenue. Once you get past that, getting to the tunnel is not a problem, but getting to it apparently is an issue on 64 eastbound. It's the only backup or delay we had earlier. We do have some roads closed and some issues out in Southampton and Alawite County because of road flooding. If you live out in Alawite, Southampton, you know the usual suspects, if you will, but some of the places, including Walters Road is closed at Burdett Road, and Colossi Road is closed. Some other roads are closed as well. 2 o'clock opening coming up for the high-rise bridge. Those bridge openings are lengthy anyway, but with the increased volume on 64 because of the tolls at the tunnels, those openings are even lengthier and cause even more of a backup. Isolated showers or thunderstorms this afternoon with a high of 96. Possible isolated showers or thunderstorms tonight, 76. And then for tomorrow, partly cloudy skies and a high of 96. We'll see some sunshine finally on Friday with a high of 89 degrees and then thunderstorms again on Saturday. CBS News is next on AM 1650. The Answer, it's 1231.
CBS News special report. The New York Stock Exchange says it's working on an unspecified technical issue that forced trading to be suspended about an hour ago.
It is, in a sense, unprecedented, and hopefully it'll be resolved fairly quickly.
Trader Shah Gilani tells CBS News.
There are other venues where almost every stock that's traded on the New York can be traded. So while trading may be stopped at the New York, trading continues elsewhere, which is a positive.
The Dow is down about 200 points. Some NYSE issues are still trading. For example, on the NASDAQ, CBS's Jason Brooks.
We don't know what the problem is, but the NYSE says it's working hard to resolve this issue as soon as it can. Now, the NASDAQ has not been impacted by this. It continues to trade. The NYSE canceled all open orders that were made just before trading was halted.
A law enforcement source tells CBS's Jeff Pegues there's no indication of any threats against the NYSE or a cyber attack, but they're monitoring things. CBS News Special Report. I'm Steve Kathan.
Rack City chick, 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 10, 20s and a 50s chick, rack city chick,
All right, back right here live on Sports Scene. Gotta have the CBS News because people love their CBS News, more than any other news, definitely now in the world.
And as they constantly remind us, they are the winner for the 3rd year in a row of the Edward Murrow Award.
How about just taping that and running that so they don't have to do it live all the time? All right, this is Sports Scene. We have a lot of fun, kind of a break during the midweek. Hope everybody had a good 4th, but I think a lot of people before we get back to Skeeter, kind of felt like they were cheated on the 4th because of the weekend, and they pretty much relax on the weekends anyway.
Yeah, a lot of people had Friday or Monday off. We were supposed to have Friday off, but like I could never take a Friday off. So they kind of had a little bit of a holiday, but you're right. When the holiday, a definite day off holiday hits on the weekend, it feels like, oh, that ain't fair.
Right. All right, back with Skeeter. Skeeter, do you remember when we were kids? Well, you're a lot older than I am, my friend, but there was Christmas Eve, there was New Year's Eve, now there's Memorial Day Eve, July 4th Eve. I mean, really? I mean, what's up with all that, Skeeter?
I have no idea, Greg. I'm going to tell you something. I'm confused on a lot of things that go on in this world today.
Did you ever think that social media and your phone would be so? Could you imagine back when you were playing in the U.S. Open that you got a text or a tweet or an email while you were trying to prepare for the U.S. Open?
No, back when I was playing, this was social media was nothing to even thought about, and I can see where it could be a lot better. I mean, it would be a lot better, traveling all the time to be able to talk to your family and that sort of thing and do things with this. But, I'm not into, I text and I get emails on my phone and I talk, but that's about it. I don't do any of the other things.
Right, talking
to because when you get to be my age, you just kind of, try to keep it simple.
It's all good, but you're a valuable tool to these young golfers too. Talking to Skeeter Heath, and Skeeter, what are your thoughts about Tiger? Ever since he's had that issue, now he broke up again. It just doesn't seem like he's the same. Sure, he's won some tournaments, but to win a major is a big, big deal.
Greg, to win a major, regardless if everything's perfect in your life, is a task. It's a great feat. There's not many people that have done it. It's just an unbelievable thing, and he's had a hell of a career. He's done well. Confidence is everything. I think last week on Sunday, he hit the ball better than he's hit it in a couple of years. He says he's working on this, but Tiger's had a lot of operations, a lot of injuries, and he's put a lot of strain and stress on his body. And I think it's part mental. It's a lot mental, and I think it's a lot physical too. I think it's more than just a mental part.
He seems like he's really in the grind too. And of course, your body just breaks down. Think about how many people have trouble just getting out of bed in the morning. It's tough for these golfers, and they have to walk. Do you think it's going to be a time, Ken or Skeeter as well? I want to get both of your opinions that they're going to have a golf cart. Skeeter first.
No, never. I don't see that ever happening on the tour. That's part of it. I think it's a great thing. In fact, now when I play, when we go out to some clubs, we don't have it at our club. I wish we did. You can get a caddy. It's nothing better than playing golf with a caddy, and I don't think that will ever change. I think that's great. I think that's the only way that the game should be. And you go to Scotland and nowhere, you don't see golf carts in
right. Well, I personally prefer golf cars just to ride around and have a Diet Coke, and relax.
Yeah.
Kenny, your thoughts on that?
Every golfer I've ever known, male and female, LPGA and PGA, have always said that nothing beats. I can't answer the phone talking at the same time, brother. I'll just put it on hold for a second. Whoever you are, hang on. But they've always said nothing beats a good caddy. If you've got a good caddy, not only are they there for companionship, but also they are a conscious, if you will. They're the Jiminy Cricket on the shoulder, trying to help you out to hit the ball.
Well, yeah, and people just, some people like to walk, some people like the scenery of the golf course and whatever, so it's all good. As far as any future thoughts, as far as, the players today compared, you mentioned Spieth and we mentioned Jimmy Walker, Bubba Watson, it just seems like the golfers today, it's a different era, Skeeter. It just definitely is a different era, and it just seems like they're more accessible. Sometimes the only criticism was that Jack was a little distant, and Arnold always, you see him designing golf courses. I want to get your thoughts on that. How much hands-on do they do with the golf courses when they design them?
Well, designing, when we bought our club here, John LaFoy and I redesigned it. We didn't change the routing. But these guys come in and they design it, and of course they have designers that work for them. They come up with the ideas. They don't do the drawings. Right. They have guys that design them. And the secret to a good golf course is the shaper, the guy that drives the bulldozer, and the construction guy. Now, what they'll do, the golf course construction will start. Then they'll start moving the dirt, and then whoever it is, Jack, Arnold, Watson, whomever, they'll come back and say, oh, well, that bunker's wrong there. I want to move that bunker over here 10 yards. I want to take this green. I want to move this. I want to drop that. And they'll make a visit, and then they'll come back in 3 months or 2 months. But the guy who's really, really good and conscientious, who I think is a great architect, is Ben Crenshaw.
Right. Oh, he's still getting it done. And I want to ask you one more question before we let you go, Skeeter, and we'll talk to you again like we always do. Your thoughts about golf in Hampton Roads right now, as far as participation, as far as player involvement, how is the heat affecting it? Just your overall thoughts as far as people going out there and just swinging the clubs every day, whether it's a country club or a regular golf course. What are your thoughts from your people that you talk to?
Well, golf has been down on a decline for quite a while now, and nationwide. And Hampton Roads, I think that golf is coming back a little bit. I hope so. I think it is. But the thing I think that's hurt golf is more than anything, there's two things, is the economy and time.
Right.
And, a lot of people now are like, I don't have time to go spend 4 hours. And that with young people, people my age, they don't mind going and spending the whole day, and enjoying themselves, taking their time, playing with their buddies, having a couple of adult beverages, and laughing and telling some lies and that sort of thing. Where the young guys who are 30 to 40, they're working, they've got kids, the kids are in soccer, the kids are in football, the kids are in baseball, or the kids are playing golf. And that's the big thing is the time.
Yeah. Skeeter, all the best to you and your family. Always enjoyed talking to you. And give us your prediction on who's going to win the British Open.
Well, I think that I think you better watch out for Dustin Johnson.
Okay. All right.
But I'd like to see Jordan Spieth win.
Yeah, I would too. And
I really want I'm pulling for Jordan Spieth, but I think Dustin Johnson, he's just it just depends. He should have won the Open if his putter let him down.
Right. Patty Brackett joining us just a few seconds. And Skeeter, I'd be remiss. Phil Mickelson, the drama he's involved in, is that just something that he can handle? What do you think? That's another distraction for him as well.
Greg and Ken, I don't. It's unbelievable, but about every 2 or 3 years, something like this comes up around Phil. It's either. You remember, I think it was, 3 or 4 years ago, it was some guy he had got some insider trading on stocks, and then that went away, and then, I don't know. I have no idea what's going on with that. I hope there's nothing to it, but if it's something to that magnitude, I'm sure that it's got to be weighing on his mind.
Skeeter, you're right, and all the best to you, my friend. Always a pleasure. Always enjoy talking to you, and have a good rest of the day, my friend.
Yeah, you too, and thanks, guys. And anytime, just give me a call.
I appreciate it. You're great, Skeeter.
Thanks, man.
Thanks,
guys.
Thank you. All right, Skeeter Heath, former PGA Tour golfer. Ken, really a real gentleman and a great guest right there.
And a wealth of knowledge, and look who he's hung out with.
Right, and of course, in order to play golf, you have to eat and to get fueled up. And let's talk to our regular on the business spotlight scene, Patty Brackett from Chick-fil-A in Edinburgh and Chesapeake. How are you, Patty?
I'm great. How are you, Greg?
Following a PGA Tour golfer right there.
Yeah. How are you doing?
Not too bad. How was your day going?
Great. We're very busy today, so that's always a good thing.
Well, it's lunchtime, and people got to eat their Chick-fil-A. Are people ordering the combos more, the nuggets? What are they getting more now?
Actually, this time of year, they're ordering more of our healthy menu. They're going for the salads, the char grills, our char grill nuggets. They're more into the health scene in the summertime.
I used to always joke with your sister when we had her on when I worked at the game with Kim that, you get the bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit in the morning, and then add sausage to it, if you really want to eat the monster stuff. But let's talk about your address, Facebook, and give us the information. Sure.
We're located at 205 Carmichael Way in Chesapeake, Virginia, 23322. Our phone number is 421-3580. Our webpage is www.chickfilaedinburgh.com, and you can always like us on our Facebook page, which is edinburghcommons.com as well. So you can reach out to us on any of our social media. We're always responding back to our guests, and we just like to keep it going all the time. So if you have any comments or anything you'd like to see us do, just give us a shout-out, and we'll be glad to do it.
And very accessible off the interstate as well.
Yes, it is. We're the last exit before you are heading toward the Outer Banks. So it's your last stop to get a good chicken sandwich before you head that way on vacation.
Yes, fuel up right there at Chick-fil-A in Edinburgh on your way to Nag's Head. Of course, Nag's Head's a great place. And, of course, I'll get your thoughts both. All the shark attacks scare you from going to Nag's Head? Get Patty and Ken's thoughts. Okay.
Not at all.
Ken, how about you?
Not at all. I just don't plan on getting in the water.
How about you, Kenny?
Yeah. It's the 40th anniversary of Jaws. There's too many teeth in the water. I think I'll stay out of it.
I tweeted it.
Yeah, me too.
Hey, Patty, I tweeted at Shark Week and said, we don't need Shark Week. We've had enough Shark Week here.
Yeah, we have.
And not to mention, a lot of tourists are listening right now. Tourists, don't forget, the swimming pool is a great place, and I love Virginia Beach. I grew up going there. Well, let's talk about, you mentioned the menu. It's always evolving, and, of course, your shakes are and your salads are always popular.
Delicious. And I wanted to kind of give a shout-out and let everybody know that Tuesday is Cow Appreciation Day. So if you come in and you're dressed heel to hoof, you get a free menu. You can get a free meal on our menu. If you come dressed as a partial, you can get any entree on our menu. So always a busy, busy day. We love seeing our fans come out dressed in our cow outfits. It's just a great day.
Absolutely. And, of course, let's talk about any other events coming up in July and August.
Well, you can check our Facebook page. As always, we keep it updated. We're going to be having a father-son camp out in our parking lot. We try to do a lot of promoting with family events, bringing families together. So that's going to be a really good time. We're going to have some Cub Scouts out here. We're going to make s'mores. We're going to keep our store open all night. So that'll be in our parking lot. And we have a lot of other things coming up as well. We have a mother-daughter glam night. So we're always trying to keep things going. So if you just want to check our page, you can look and see the events we'll have coming following in the month of July and August.
And of course, Chick-fil-A is a fun place. They do a lot with college football and the bowls as well, so very sports-minded too, very family-oriented, open Monday through Saturday for breakfast, lunch, and dinner at Edinburgh in Chesapeake, the premier place to go for Chick-fil-A, and of course, very kid-friendly as well always.
Oh, of course. We have kids' nights every Tuesday night from 6 to 7:30. It's always packed in here. It's a great time for the kids, and we just really try to reach out to our community as much as we can and do a lot of family activities because you don't see a lot of that anymore. So we really try to keep that in mind when we're scheduling events and things like that.
Yes, when you and I grew up, we actually had dinner with our parents and stuff too, as well. How about drive-thrus, Patty?
With no cell phones.
No distractions either. And we were told to be seen and not heard too. Remember those days? Goodness gracious. How about drive-thrus? You look at the Chick-fil-A's around Hampton Roads, really revolutionized the whole eating out concept.
Oh yeah, and most of us now have face-to-face where we take your order right there in the drive-thru, and by the time you get to the window, we're ready to hand it to you at the door. So that's a wonderful way that we can expedite our drive-thru service to accommodate our drive-thru guests. It's just always a great way to get you in and out for lunch and dinner. It just really is. It's one of our best technology things we've done yet. So,
well, Patty, all the best to you and your sister Kim and your family as well, and Blaine and everybody. Thanks for all that you do for the community. Our listeners really love Chick-fil-A, and we look forward to talking to you soon at Chick-fil-A in Edinburgh and Chesapeake.
Sure. Take care. I'll see you soon.
Very good. Go by and see Patty,
Bye-bye.
folks. All right. Just a fun family place, Ken, and everybody seems to just love Chick-fil-A. I don't know what is it about that restaurant. It's just like, everybody smiles.
Number one of the fast food restaurants in a recent poll taken. I forgot who put it out, but they did a poll of people of what their favorite restaurants were, and number one, Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, it's almost like Disney. You love Mickey Mouse. I mean, I'm going to call you Mickey Mouse after a while, but I mean, Chick-fil-A, Mickey Mouse go hand in hand. They are magical.
In my case, Goofy might be more appropriate.
My sister's daughter loves Mickey Mouse. I don't know what it is about Mickey Mouse. When he comes on TV, it's like a magnet. Anyway, this is Sports Scene right here, presented by HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. I want to thank Skeeter Heath, former PGA Tour golfer, for joining us as well. We got What Tees Me Off. We got another business spotlight coming up as well. Don't forget, it's lunchtime. Order online at papajohns.com. Also go by Smoke Restaurant in Newport News. That's smokenn.com. HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. You'll see there are 63 links right now, folks, on HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. Browse, shop, visit. All you tourists, HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. Delicious barbecue in Newport News. That's Smoke. It's a popular name, Ken, as you well know. You mention that all the time, but it's a different place. But barbecue, ribs, they got everything. Blue Sushi Cafe. Go by and see Chris Green up in Denby in Newport News from some great sushi. Saxby's and MiCasitaMexican.com. with two great locations in Virginia Beach. This is Sports Scene. We'll take a short break, and we'll be back on 1650 and tunein.com. Type in WHKT after these messages.
Soprano Italian Restaurant welcomes you to their establishment. Enjoy unforgettable appetizers, subs, pizza, Italian dinners, and ask about their pizza special for only $10.99. Call 930-2350 and visit Soprano number 2 on Facebook and online at sopranoitalianrestaurant.com. C&U, senior, and military discounts are available, and they do catering and delivery. Soprano is located near Hydenwood at 12588 Warwick Boulevard in Newport News and is open daily for you.
Hello, Toes. This is the brain. Is all this wiggling absolutely necessary?
We've never been this happy. Whatever it is you're drinking up there is cooling us off all the way down here.
Now that you mention it, we happen to be enjoying a new Rita's frozen drink. Your favorite flavor of their signature Italian ice turned into an intensely flavorful frozen beverage. The perfect refreshment on a hot summer day.
More, please.
Don't be a piggy.
Haven't heard that one before.
Visit 12286 Warwick Boulevard in Newport News and 2328 West Mercury Boulevard in Hampton for Rita's.
Active Computers and Electronics in Chesapeake handles it all and then some. They can fix your laptop, take care of motherboards, fix DC jacks, broken LCD screens, replace damaged plastic, and hinge replacement. They also handle viruses, slow computers, hard drive data recovery, battery replacement, can back up data, and upgrade memory. Call 485-8878 and visit Active Computers and Electronics at 2973 South Military Highway in Chesapeake today.
The place for authentic Indian food is the India Palace. They feature authentic Indian cuisine, have a party hall, and do catering and banquets. Open daily for lunch and dinner, they showcase an excellent lunch buffet at their Chesapeake and Virginia Beach locations. Visit their 2 locations at 1437 Sam's Drive in Chesapeake off of Battlefield Boulevard and 5600 Virginia Beach Boulevard in Virginia Beach, and online at IndiaPalaceVB.com. On Facebook, look for India Palace Virginia Beach and India Palace Bar and Grill. Dine at the India Palace today.
Now back to Greg Bicouvaris and Sports Scene in the Hampton Roads Online Mall.com studio. It's now time for Greg's Highlights presented by Hampton Roads Online Mall.com Marketplace Pages.
All right, thank you very much, Kenny. Greg Bicouvaris, glad you're with us live on the radio for Sports Scene every Wednesday from 12 to 1. GJBTV.com. Hit the YouTube link on the homepage for archive shows. Shop on the homepage as well as the Marketplace sponsors. As well, save the date every Wednesday for Sports Scene from 12 to 1. Business Spotlight Scene during the hour. What Teased Me Off, always a lot of fun. Sports Highlights on NNPSTV.com, as well as great guests every week right here. It's a pleasure. Of course, my background, you can see GJBTV.com, all my radio and TV career since I've been in college at George Mason. Of course, the only remaining sports talk show host left from the old game that Dan Snyder owned for 6 years. I worked at the game from 2007 to 2013. And one thing, Ken, as you well know, my dear friend, who I used to work with you back in the 90s at another station, this show has sustained, unlike the other bogus shows that used to be at the game.
Oh, yeah. Well,
okay.
Fly-by-nights and didn't really have a clue as to what.
Oh, my God. There were so many radio and TV people that worked there that had no clue about broadcasting at all. Thank goodness you and I are over here. I'm sorry I'm patting myself on the back because we got the best listeners in Hampton Roads as well. Let's welcome a regular right here, Brenda Van Dorn. Of course, she's going to talk about what she does. And Brenda's a regular right here. Brenda, how is your Wednesday?
Wednesday is wonderful. How are y'all doing?
Very good, very good. Well, go ahead and elaborate and plug that name and website.
Wonderful. Yeah, I'm with High Tide Screen Printing, and what we do is we do custom T-shirts and tanks and hoodies, and basically we make you look great by doing custom T-shirts for companies and camps and events, you name it.
And of course, before you know it, another month or so, I wouldn't want to push summer because I love the summer. I could be in the beach all day, but back to school is another thought about it as far as wardrobe and attire.
Oh, back to school is a big thing. All the high schools, they all have clubs and camps, and we're right in there. If you need a quote on anything, pick up the phone and give us a call. Right
here, talking to Brenda. Go ahead and plug the website and the Facebook page.
Oh, that sounds great. HighTideTees.com is the website. And you can find us on Facebook at High Tide Screen Printing, and that's our official name there. So
very good. And go ahead and plug the number how people can get a hold of you.
They can get us at 757-627-8337.
That's it, 627-8337. That is absolutely correct. Talking to Brenda Van Dorn. And, of course, it's just amazing that, no matter what the technology is, Brenda, people still want to have nice attire and a nice wardrobe, whether it's the summer casual wear or the fall or the winter, whatever. T-shirts and outfits are still very, very important.
And Greg, it's really important for companies out there. They have, especially in the service industry, you may be, mowing yards or doing electrical work. You want to put a good impression out to people, and the way that your employees are dressed, that's their first impression.
And I want to get your thoughts about that in general, just a little bit off the topic, but, I've got a lot of girls in my family, I understand. What are your thoughts as far as the wardrobe today compared to, let's say, when you were growing up? I mean, is that still... When you go to a business interview or business function, the first impression is the wardrobe. What is your first impression?
Oh, first impression is everything. I have a couple daughters right now that are going out for interviews, and I always tell them overdress. You can always be overdressed, but underdressed people are going to look at you crazy.
Right.
So if you go in and you have a ripped T-shirt on, or big stains all over your company's T-shirt, people remember that.
Right. And, of course, your attitude and everything and so forth. All right. Well, go ahead and leave us with a good thought and go ahead and plug the business one more time.
All right. I'm with High Tide Screen Printing, and we make you look good.
Very good. All right. And we will talk to you again next month. Thank you so much.
And thanks, Greg. I appreciate it.
Always a pleasure. Okay. Thank you so much, Brenda, right there. And, Ken, that's true. The first impression, whether it's your attire or your attitude, is so important.
Absolutely. You have to make a good first impression. You don't ever get a chance to make a second first impression. That's why they call them first impression.
All right, and let's get to what teased me off.
What Tees You Off? Presented by GJBTV.com.
Ken, how about this? Tailgating so close on the interstate, or let's say on Virginia Beach Boulevard, so close to other cars, and not to mention drive-thrus. How about do what the police officers do? Allow space in between cars.
You have to. Otherwise, there's a potential for a chain reaction, and if you're causing anxiety for somebody in front of you, that's not helping their driving ability any.
Not to mention, too, exactly, what's the rush? You're still going to get there. I mean, it's not. Can you imagine, Ken, they're rushing to get somewhere, and what are they doing? They're just going back to sit on the couch.
Yeah. I mean, 9 times out of 10, you see somebody doing that, and you get a little further down the road, and they haven't gotten any further.
Exactly. How about this, Ken? One thing about Virginia, we have really nice license plates. Now they're all different types of colors. I understand that about being personalized, but right now you can't tell whether it's New York, Alaska, what state it's in when you see a Virginia license plate.
Frankly, I hate it. Freedom of speech is fine, but my goodness, you can't tell anymore. You're right. Some of the plates look like New York plates because they're gold,
right,
or yellow, and some of them don't even. Some of them look like Ohio,
yeah,
because they've got that blue, red, and white kind of stripe on the top. So it's confusing. I prefer to see a plate and know, okay, that's a Virginia plate.
Exactly. Ken, food is meant to be enjoyed, not devoured at eating competitions. How about digesting all these July 4th competitions? Shame on these people that eat 40 or 50 hot dogs in 5 minutes. You know what that does? Absolutely nothing. Can you imagine if people went to restaurants and acted like jerks that eat like that? Food is meant to be taken one bite at a time. I don't mean 22 chews for one piece of steak or chicken, Ken, but what happened to decency? And these eating competitions, whether it's dessert or food, are disgusting.
I've never understood the attraction to the eating contest. That just, to me, is just wrong on so many levels.
Ken, you go to banks or a restaurant and you have distracted people waiting on you, but there's nothing worse than going to a bank where there's one teller at the line, one at the drive-thru, and 10 people waiting in line.
Yep. It's like going to the Walmart, and they've got 30 checkout lines. There's 300 people standing there, and only 2 are open.
Right. How about restaurants and drive-thrus that have to wait on you for iPads just so they feel like they're relevant and modern with technology? Just take my order. You don't need an iPad to take my order. I don't care whether you have an iPad.
That's usually some corporate honcho's idea, and he's trying to impress his higher-ups by having some new technology. Oh, look how cool this is.
Yeah.
And the poor people that have to work with it are probably feeling the same way you are. It's like, this is really ridiculous.
Got to give a shout out to our buddy Scott Long, Kenny. You know him from Long's Billiards. He loves What Teased Me Off. And, of course, folks, this is What Teased Me Off. Is we have fun with it. We don't take it so serious. Ken, how about PA announcers at sporting events who act one side is like this? And now for the Los Angeles Lakers, let's mention Kobe Bryant. For the visiting team, let's mention, Shaquille O'Neal. I mean, how about giving the proper respect to both teams and take yourself out of it? You got to be neutral in broadcasting.
Yeah, and if you do have a position where you're speaking into a microphone, learn some mic dynamics. We were up at Bush not too long ago, and whoever was running the Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah,
what?
I know.
What? It's some kid from high school. They just threw him in front of the microphone, didn't teach him anything about mic dynamics, and they're screaming into the microphone. The microphone there is to amplify your voice. You don't have to speak very loudly.
Right. And Ken, have you noticed, and you and I have done a lot of radio and TV over the years, the scores for commercials, I mean, what amateurs are doing, learn from the movie people. They do scores the best. But Ken, sometimes it seems like even the national commercials, they're just trying, okay, let's go to the music bakery and put whatever it's on. It's really bad.
They probably are saving money. That's all it is. It's just going cheap.
Ken, I gotta leave this. Gotta be remiss. Somebody brought this up to me the other day, and I met him once, and he might have been a little out there, but he's still an eclectic person. The late Irving Hill. Your thoughts about him?
Oh, you don't want to know my thoughts about him. What a piece of everyone is trying to be nice. And that's cool. It's maybe you shouldn't speak ill of the dead, but if you knew Irv Hill like I knew Irv Hill, and many other people knew Irv Hill, you'd know that what you heard wasn't necessarily. He wrote his own obituary, kids. Did you read that thing?
20 years ago, maybe?
Holy mackerel. It was pathetic.
Well, the best mayor Virginia Beach ever had is the late Myra Obendorf. She was the best. Oh, my God. She was from Newport News as well. I want to thank our great guests as well, the Skeeter Heath, former PGA Tour golfer, Patty Brackett, talking about sports and sponsorships with Chick-fil-A, and also Brenda Van Dorn. Great guests, great sponsors again. Zaxby's, Blue Sushi Cafe, Smoke, Mi Casita Mexican, Active Computers, Rita's, Soprano, India Palace, and Mihogar. I want to thank Ken Johnson and Colleen for what they do at this radio station each and every week. Encore show next week. Ken's assured me everything will go fine, and we'll be back right here on Sports Scene. For Kenny Johnson, I'm Greg Bicouvaris. Happy Wednesday. We'll talk to you soon. Don't forget, gjbtv.com for archive shows. Hit the YouTube link.